Hello, everyone, and welcome back. My name is Vincent with Outdoor Outreach. I'm a field instructor, former Outdoor Outreach participant, and leadership program graduate. For those of you that are new here, Outdoor Outreach is a San Diego-based youth development nonprofit that connects youth to the outdoors as a space for them to build resilience and confidence in their power to make a difference. Today, I'm joined by Tatiana Butte and special guest Andy Yuen. As project leader, Andy oversees the San Diego National Wildlife Refuge Complex and was instrumental in launching the Urban Wildlife Refuge program that Outdoor Outreach has been involved with for the past 5 years. I want to thank Andy for his work on that program and for his support of Outdoor Outreach as an individual donor. So to start, we'll do a few quick introductions before we jump into our Q&A with Andy. Tati, I'll pass it to you.
Thanks, Vinny. I am Tatiana Butte, and I am a former 2019 leadership graduate, and I am also a student at San Diego City College studying criminal justice and communication. And I am so glad to be with you guys today. Pass over to you, Vinny.
Thanks, Tati. And Andy, I'll go ahead and let you introduce yourself.
Great. Welcome, Vincent. Welcome, Tatiana. Great to see you both again. I've always enjoyed our opportunities to chat and visit and be out in the field. My name is Andy Yuen. I'm the project leader for the San Diego National Wildlife Refuge Complex. We have some amazing land here in San Diego County, as well as in Orange County. I, as Vinny mentioned, manage the National Wildlife Refuges here. And these are really special places that we manage and protect, where wildlife and habitats flourish here and beyond. It really is a part of a national system of lands that stretch from the Florida Keys to the Arctic tundra, from the islands off of Maine to the chaparral of San Diego, to out in the Pacific and all points between. So it really is an amazing system of lands that are set aside for the protection of wildlife. And as you have probably known and visited, we have a wildlife refuge in the city of Imperial Beach at the San Diego Bay National Wildlife Refuge. And it's located at two locations, one at Sweetwater Marsh near Chula Vista and National City, as well at the south end of San Diego Bay. And at the far end of the county, really about the southwest corner of the county, is the Tijuana Slough National Wildlife Refuge. And again, a wonderful piece of property right there on the coast, important for wildlife. And then a piece that you've probably hiked on and mountain biked on is the San Diego National Wildlife Refuge out in East County. Incredible trails and views, coastal sage scrub, chaparral, and then not here in San Diego County, but up in Orange County, we have the Seal Beach National Wildlife Refuge, located within the Seal Beach Naval Weapons Station. And there we have this incredible partnership with the Navy. And as you mentioned, one of the really wonderful things that we've been able to be part of the community and the neighborhoods that surround the refuge is the Urban Wildlife Refuge project here in Southern California. So we've had a number of partners, including Outdoor Outreach. And it's just been an incredible chance for us to bring the outside to communities and to share the enthusiasm and love that we have for nature and wildlife with the communities that surround the refuge, and to build some really amazing partnerships with groups like Outdoor Outreach, where one of our goals is to connect urban youth in particular to the outdoors and to appreciate nature and all of the power and opportunity that being outside. And one of my favorite slides, of course, is whenever we talk about Outdoor Outreach is the dedication that we had at South Bay. So of course, you and your colleagues were there, did a wonderful job in welcoming us and ensuring that the Urban Wildlife Refuge project got to a great kickoff and start. So it's been a terrific partnership with Outdoor Outreach.
Thanks, Andy. It's so good to see you again and great to have you here with us. I'm going to pass it off to Tati to kick off our Q&A. And for the viewers at home, feel free to join our conversation with comments or questions in the chat box. Pass it to you, Tati.
Thank you, Vinny. And thank you, Andy, for being with us virtually during this time. First, before we go and start with the questions, how are you doing on this Friday afternoon?
I'm doing really well. I'm glad that it's Friday. It's been a busy week. It's been very well. And yourself?
I'm good. I just got done with my finals, and I am just ready to kick off summer this Friday day.
Oh, wow. Well, congratulations. That's terrific.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Let's now get into the questions. Our first question is, can you tell us a little bit more about the San Diego Wildlife Refuge Complex and its significance to the San Diego ecosystem?
Well, one of the incredible things that I like to highlight about the San Diego Wildlife Refuges is really in an area with 3.3 million people. You know, we have this incredible richness of wildlife, and we're going to try and as part of this queue up a little video of the terns and elegant terns in South San Diego Bay. Literally at the footstep of millions of people, we have tens of thousands of terns and other seabirds nesting at the south end of San Diego Bay. Just the spectacular show of nature, of the abundance and richness and diversity of wildlife, and how in an urban setting, you know, if we plan correctly, we can accommodate wildlife and open space, both to benefit wildlife and to benefit people. So it's an opportunity to both protect endangered, threatened, and migratory birds, as well as provide opportunities for the public to get outside and enjoy nature. And in particular, in a time like this, where we're all cooped up, you know, being able to enjoy some fresh air and being outside and enjoying nature. It's you know, one of the added opportunities and benefits of having a wildlife refuge here in, you know, in urban San Diego.
Yes, I am someone who loves the outdoors, and you're right. Going outside, getting the fresh air, it does help you. It relieves some stress, and that's why I'm very much into the environment and nature. And I want to ask you, how did you get involved with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service in the first place?
Well, I go back to my childhood, really, and for whatever reason, I always was interested in nature. You know, before I even knew, you know, that there were careers in biology, I was catching grasshoppers, or, you know, and then I had the, you know, opportunity, because where I lived, I had a stream nearby that I used to explore. I enjoyed hiking. I learned how to surf. You know, I went fishing. So a lot of where I ended up, you know, working for the service was in my early, you know, experiences, you know, as a youth and you know, teenager and a young adult, of being outdoors and enjoying being outside. That led me, you know, to the career and the field that I'm in now.
That's really inspiring. Like, I think everyone can take a part that, like, our early development and our childhood plays a part in why we do or go into the careers we want to, because some part of our childhood helped us cope or done something in the past that's made us be like, I want to protect it. I want to, like, sacred it in a way. Going into our next question, what do you see as the most important reason for introducing youth to the outdoors and outdoor spaces in the wildlife refuge?
So to me, the way that I came to cherish, as you say, these areas is really through enjoying it. And so my advice is to have fun in the outdoors, because it then reinforces the value of outdoor places, either whether it be your local park or a national wildlife refuge or a state park or a national park, any of those lands. Then by being able to relate to it in a fun way, then I think you value it in even more. So so that's what I would say would be, if you find a way to enjoy, whether it's hiking or bird watching or any of the number of things that you could do while you're in the outside and enjoying it, and it just reinforces then the importance of those areas in the values of your life.
Exactly. And following up with this question, what message do you have for young people who want to make a difference in the community, but they don't know where to start?
Sure. Well, I would say start small. That the tiny difference that each individual can make, however small, really adds up. And so you could look at the world and say to yourself, oh, there are so many challenges. It is so difficult. What could I possibly do? And it really is just asking someone to take very small steps and little things that they can do as an individual, or something that they could do, as a personal responsibility. And when you multiply that by everyone, that little tiny increment really has an opportunity to make a big impact. So I would say, start small, do something personal, and let it grow from there.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that, Andy. And I just have a kind of sub question for that same one. So sometimes it seems kind of out of reach for youth to understand possible routes or ways to start their career in the outdoors. So what advice would you give to those folks who are passionate about the outdoors, can see themselves in the outdoor field, but just don't necessarily kind of know the path to take or the route to kind of get their foot in the door?
Sure. Well, I think for youth that are interested in the outdoors, there are some really wonderful opportunities. So there would be things like the Youth Conservation Corps, internships, and then working with a land management agency. There's some career opportunities that for young adults that are working in that field that allow them to be recruited by federal agencies. And so I would say that, taking that passion and enthusiasm, and then trying to work with your local agencies about what's some kind of career path that I could follow. Because for myself and for many of my colleagues, we were given an opportunity to enter into special programs in college and in graduate school that allowed us to work for these agencies. So, I think, as people are in college and as they're thinking about their careers, talking to the agencies and understanding what the opportunities are and what doors can be opened for them, would be a good place for them to start. And then they get to know the agency, they get to know the people, maybe they understand a little bit about the culture and which of the various agencies might be a better fit for them. But there are possibilities and opportunities, to get into the field.
Thank you for sharing that. And I know specifically for a lot of the youth we work with, they have a lot of interest, in that question I asked you. So I appreciate it. So my next question for you, how do you define good leadership?
I think there are a couple of parts to that. One is, I think a good leader would inspire. I think within all of us, a good leader would bring out the best in us and allow us to achieve things that we might not think we could do. So I think that someone who could be inspirational would be a good leader. I think the Second part of being a good leader is forming and bringing all of these diverse interests and people to pull together. And I think that a good leader would be able to share their common vision, their common goals, their common objectives, so that everyone pulls together. You know, it's you know, if you're in a canoe and everyone's pulling together, you know how fast you can go. And then I think the third part of being a good leader would be caring, compassionate of your employees and allowing them both to succeed and to fail. That if you trip and fall, it's not the end of the world. Pick yourself up, dust yourself off, take the next step. You know, it's part of the learning experience. So to me, those would be the, you know, being able to inspire, pulling together a team, and then allowing both success and failure would be hallmarks of a good leader.
Very well put, and I can say that you hit all those points, Andy, and you know that's why we have you as a guest here today. Very influential leader in our community, so thank you for that answer. And so last but not least, I'd just like to ask you if you have any final thoughts or comments you'd like to leave us in the audience with. Sure.
Well, really the wonderful thing about working with outdoor outreach is the youth and your enthusiasm. And I know for some of your high school adventure club members, where they are now and they're you know, is not where they're going to be in the future. So who they are, where they are, where they think they might be going. The world is filled with so much more opportunity, and that the future is so bright for them. And when I look at and I hear your stories, I say to myself, yes, where you are now and where you will be in the future are two very different things. So if you're you know, a junior in high school, where you will be years from now will be very different. So it's a great world out there. While there are wonderful, you know, while there are challenges, there are really wonderful opportunities for folks to do great things.
Thank you once again, Andy, for that excellent answer. First off, I'd just like to thank you for joining us. Thank you, Tati, for co-hosting with me. And thank you to the audience for tuning in with us today. And please remember that we have our virtual outing on Wednesday on YouTube. So we'll catch you there then. Until then, I'll see you next time. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Hold the smile. Hold.
All right. We are